Namaskar. I am Nirmala Gupta from Educlears. The main purpose of coming to you is to present Educlears. For the last 15 years, Educlears has been helping NEET and JEE students to get high ranks with its artificial intelligence technology. First, let's understand what our learning system is. Students get primary learning in school. They learn lots of things, but there are some areas where students do not understand or partially understand. Therefore, it is important to identify these not understood areas and fill them up. It is like diagnosis and treatment at the same time. Let's see how Educlears does it. Let us assume that a student is in class 11 and has started with mechanics in physics. Here, the first thing that I want to show you is how in Educlears we have divided the topic into chapters and subchapters. For example, if we talk about mechanics topic, it is divided into 4 parts: kinematics, statics, equilibrium, and matter mechanical properties. If we come to the top of the list, we can see that kinematics is divided into 3 parts: measurement, one-dimension motion, and two-dimension motion. Let us assume that the student has started studying 1 month ago and has covered unit and dimension. Now, let's see how easily Educlears can diagnose and find out the weaknesses of a student in unit and dimension. So, if he selects unit and dimension test, a test will be given immediately. The test has a time limit within which the student has to complete. For example, there are 15 questions and student has to complete it within 15 minutes. So, let's see how we are doing the diagnosis. After completion of the test, the student clicks on the submit button to end the test. Instantly, a report will be displayed which has 2 parts. The left-hand side of the report will show the statistical performance where out of the total number of questions, how many were correctly answered and how many were wrongly answered. The right-hand side report shows further 4 divisions in unit and dimension to show where exactly the student is lacking. For example, in the first part, fundamental and derived, the student has performed well and do not need further revision. But for the next 3 subsequent parts, namely unit system, unit dimension, and significant figure and error analysis, the student is not so ready. So, he has to revise them individually and see his improvement. That is how we are doing the diagnosis to show where exactly the student is lacking. Now, let us see how Educlears gives instant treatment after doing the diagnosis so that the student can immediately fill up their gaps. As you can see, all the answers of the questions in the given test are displayed. Many students are of the opinion that if they can see the correct answers of the wrongly answered questions, the learning is complete. But unfortunately, it is not true, because the student has to study properly those areas where he has gone wrong. Let us see how Educlears has their unique way of clearing the doubts to each questions. Here, all the questions are being displayed. If the student has correctly answered a question, it will be highlighted in green. If the answer is wrong, the right and the wrong answers are both being displayed. We not only show the correct and the incorrect answers, we also help the student in explaining the answers. Let's see the steps how we do it. If a student wrongly answers a question, we start with a clue. The reason for giving a clue is help the student to remember the answers which he knew once but forgotten now. With the clue, student can link or relate with the answer which he could not figure out. If the student can link his memory to the forgotten answer, then the job is done. He will remember the answer when the question is asked next time. If the student cannot figure out the answer with the help of clue, then we show the concept that is linked with the question. The idea of showing the concept of the question is to help the student to figure out the correct answer linked with the concept, provided the student has cleared the concept earlier. Still, if the student cannot figure out the answer seeing the concept, that means student needs to study the entire chapter to clear the concept and tutorial and know the answer. For giving quality study materials, we have created huge content bank by 60 science professors. Here, student can get entire tutorial including explanations immediately when student clicks on tutorial. Therefore, these ways we are helping student to fill up the learning gaps completely with 3 ways such as clue, concept and tutorial. After giving the exams, when report shows very poor, then student has to study to make up those deficient areas. For filling up gaps, student may study textbook, notes and even from our system. Let's see how a student can use our system to study first and then find out any knowledge gaps or not by taking a test. Let's go to our tutorial menu screen. Student needs to study on these 3 areas: unit system, unit dimension and significant figure and error analysis, and to find out how much improvement he has done after studying. For example, if he selects unit dimension, student will get entire contents which are needed to appear in the exam. By the way, these huge contents are created by 60 teachers. It contains examples, solutions, explanations, case study and much more. For the convenience to the students, he can take a test directly from the screen to verify his studies. He also can assess himself how much prepared he is for the exams. Let's talk about another problem. Learning and forgetting is a common problem of all students. Here, student has to cover the huge syllabus of 11 and 12 for the exams. When students are in class 12, they forget many areas they studied in class 11. They also forget many portions what they have studied at the beginning of class 12. Therefore, finding out the forgotten areas is very important. Let's see how Educlears finds out the students' forgotten areas and make arrangements to prepare those areas. The chapters which the student has forgotten is highlighted in red color, is the area which need to be studied first according to priority. Similarly, the blue and green color areas are not so forgotten areas and does not need to study as priority basis. There are several tools in our system to make the exam preparation faster and easier for the students to get a high rank where the artificial intelligence technology is working at the background of the platform. Please contact us to know more or get the one-of-a-kind preparation boosting system. Namaskar.